kind of a surprising move to me, but this is 2026 and we're checking out a new tablet from Motorola in the United States. Now keep in mind, this is more of an entry-level tablet. They're just calling it the Moto Pad 2026. I paid $249 for mine, but I'll leave a link down below with current pricing and more information. As far as I know, only one version with 128 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM. You can also use a micro SD card to expand the storage, and I believe you can even use a SIM card with this if you want to. It's got an 11-inch IPS LCD display at up to 90 Hz refresh rate and 500 nits brightness at 1600 by 2560 resolution. It comes with a USB-C to USB-C charging cable. No charging brick though. Weighs in at 480 grams. Okay, the back of this actually looks really nice. Pretty nice logo there in the middle. And I like this green color as well. Definitely looks a little more premium than the Lenovo version of this tablet. Also has some pogo pins there on the bottom. Kind of surprising, but this tablet launched with Android 15 right out of the box. And I'm gonna take a wild guess and say you're not gonna get too many software updates with this if you're going by some of the Motorola budget to mid-range phones. Usually only 1 or 2 years of major software updates and a little longer with security updates. I think one thing that's very obvious with this, if the specs sound pretty familiar, that's because there's a Lenovo tablet that came out a while back, IdeaTab. It's got the same exact specs, same exact size, weight, pretty much everything's identical, although I think that one's about $50 less. You can see next to the Lenovo IdeaTab, they're pretty much identical. I am glad to see they're not putting that big sticker on there, which they always do for Lenovo for some reason. When setting up, you've got face unlock or password. Looks like it's on gesture navigation by default, but of course you can switch it to 3-button navigation. Pretty nice wallpaper on here, which matches the green on the back. You've got Google Discover left of the home screen. The notifications and quick settings panel, pretty similar to what you see on the Lenovo tablet. Looks like there is a PC mode. You've also got other stuff like split screen, smart connect, quick share, reading mode, hotspot, dark theme, eye protection mode, screencast, and so on. And then several others that you can add as well. Kind of nice, you can add a power off button. It doesn't look like they put a lot of pre-installed apps on here, just mostly the ones from Google. It does say there's a Moto pen, but good thing is, it looks like a couple pens work from Lenovo, like the Tab Pen Plus, to draw and take notes. And that's something you're not always gonna get on other more budget-friendly tablets, like the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus. The Lenovo Tab Pen seems to work on this tablet as well. It definitely feels like a cheaper pen versus the Tab Pen Plus, but I'm sure they'll come out with a Motorola branded version. I believe there's also a keyboard case for the IdeaTab from Lenovo, so I'm sure you could use that same keyboard on the Moto Pad as well. You don't actually charge this pen, it just takes a really small 4A battery. Also keep in mind, neither of these pens snap to the side or the back like some of the other Lenovo tablets. So you would have to have a case or something like that to keep the pen in place so you don't lose it. Still pretty nice to have pen support though, considering you don't normally see that on more budget-friendly tablets. You've also got a floating window sidebar over on the edge, kind of like the Edge panel for Samsung. I think the screen quality on here looks pretty good. It's got good contrast, decent viewing angles. I do like that they put PC mode on here. It's pretty similar to the classic Samsung DeX, where it looks a little more like a desktop version for the software if you want to be a little more productive. It also has a taskbar down at the bottom where you can drag apps up to do split screen or just quickly switch back and forth. Looks like it has 109 gigabytes left of the 128 available. It does have a handful of gestures on here as well. You can swipe down with 3 fingers to do a screenshot, swipe left or right with 3 fingers to turn on multitasking, to switch between different tasks. You can also press and hold with 3 fingers for a partial screenshot, double tap with 3 fingers for split screen, and then you've also got lift to check tablet, double tap to power on, double tap to lock. You can quickly open the camera by double tapping the power button. If you press and hold on the power button, it'll bring up the assistant, or you can switch that to just be the power options. Not a huge surprise, but when you see the benchmark results on this tablet, not bad on single and multi-core scores, but when it comes to GPU performance, it's going to be really low on this tablet. It's pretty much identical to the Lenovo IdeaTab. Again, this is more of an entry-level tablet, so it's not going to be the most powerful out there. You can still play some mobile games on here. Of course, it'll be on lower graphics and frame rate settings, but still sort of what you would expect on a tablet in this category. It's got a 7040 milliamp hour battery. I believe this one only gets 20 watt fast charging, so not really that fast. I ran my typical battery drain test on this new Motorola tablet, and not a huge surprise, but it lasted about 6 hours, which is very similar to the Lenovo IdeaTab. Keep in mind, there's a lot of variables when it comes to battery life, depending on how you're using the tablet, but kind of what you would expect as far as battery life goes on a more budget-friendly tablet like this. Also has a headphone jack there towards the corner on the bottom. Also has a quad speaker setup with Dolby Atmos. Not a huge surprise, but the speakers on here are actually nice and loud. Again, very similar to the Lenovo version, but here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. Got an 8 megapixel camera on the back, 5 megapixel on the front. It's a pretty simple camera app, very similar to Lenovo. You've got documents, photo, video, and it'll shoot up to 1080p resolution for video recording. Pretty fast shutter speed though. Here's a few quick samples just to give you an idea of what to expect on the new Moto Pad 2026. I feel like overall, this is probably a solid first tablet from Motorola. Even though it's basically just a rebranded Lenovo tablet, I would hope their next tablet is a little better, or maybe just copy the Lenovo tablet that's the next step up from this. I'd also like to see longer software updates, considering Samsung now offers 7 years on their cheaper devices, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But regardless, I do have to admit, it is nice to see the Motorola logo on tablets again. I'll definitely be doing some comparisons with this tablet and some of the others I have, so make sure to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.